The Arcturian group. True spirituality. We are well aware of the confusion reigning amongst both the spiritually aware and those who are not, that you are currently experiencing. Know that this is a temporary process and release any concepts you may hold regarding how a process of ascension should unfold. Understand that every belief, law, tradition, teaching, etc., born of third-dimensional concepts and beliefs based in duality, separation, and multiple powers must first be seen, recognized, and even experienced in order to then be rejected and cleared from collective consciousness. For thousands of years humanity has lived according to a belief system telling them that some things are good and others are bad, that everyone must protect themselves from an infinite number of powers waiting to kill or harm them, that every person must work hard and struggle for necessities, and that suffering is spiritual. This programming is very difficult to break free from, but it is happening because of the increasing presence of high-resonance energy and global as well as personal clearing. Humans are taught that in order to achieve anything, including getting closer to God, one must do. This belief is a concept. You do not have to do in order to evolve spiritually, for doing indicates a belief that you are separate from what the doing is intended to bring. True spirituality is about being rather than doing. It is about remembering that your real self, individualized divine consciousness, is already doing and expressing the fullness of its self-sustained, self-maintained, completeness in, as, and through every living thing and needs no one's help to do it. Your job is to allow the ego sense of self to step aside so that you can experience the real self. The ascension process is awakening many from ingrained beliefs regarding religion, spirituality, and the infinite number of man-made prayers, ceremonies, rituals, beliefs, and traditions still being taught and held necessary for accessing God. God is the only power, presence, law, cause and effect, reality, substance, and life, and that is you. God is the government of your body, a body of light seen as matter in dense third-dimensional energy. God's self-sustained completeness is the law running every joint, nerve, muscle, and organ. God looks out through your eyes, breathes every breath you breathe, and walks every step not next to or above you, but as you. Some, even after acknowledging deeper truths, continue to live with one foot in both worlds, unwilling or afraid to drop what is familiar because it has worked in the past and is held as reality by family, friends, and society at large. They attempt to combine truth with traditional religious concepts, but opposing energies simply cannot coexist. There comes a point when every spiritually evolving person can no longer walk the fence between truth and illusion and must choose. Because there is only one, every person, animal, and the earth itself are being affected by the high-intensity energies now pouring onto Earth. These energies are exposing shadows and causing many familiar ways of doing things to no longer work as efficiently as they once did. Almost everyone is experiencing some unusual physical, emotional, mental, and even spiritual issues at this time, and it is easy to think they have nothing to do with spirituality or ascension, but everything happening at this time is a facet of the ascension process. Physical ascension symptoms are often short-lived but can be intense and seem to come out of nowhere. Many experience mental and emotional ups and downs as old energy clears. Clearing experiences may result in some form of personal crisis, but learn to view these experiences as opportunities to identify and recognize old beliefs still active in your belief system, rather than just third-dimensional problems. Moving from a life based on religious doctrine or metaphysics to a mystical life can be difficult because it involves letting go of many things the person holds as important and true. Even contemplating giving up certain lifelong beliefs can bring on guilt and even fear of punishment if one has been deeply steeped in concepts of a God that gives, withholds, and punishes. However, if a person is aware of the need for a choice, it means they are ready to make it, otherwise they would not even be aware of the need to choose. The clearing process is serving to direct many toward this spiritual choice. When individuals recognize the unlovingness of their old belief system, they begin to ask themselves, do I continue to believe and live according to a belief system based in duality and separation that I am familiar with and that has worked well for me, or do I choose to accept that I and every person without exception are an individualization of an omnipresent, omnipotent, and omniscient God? Prior to birth, many will choose to be born into a family heavily involved in a particular religion or belief system, Catholicism, Hebrew, Egyptian, Buddhism, Hinduism, Muslim, etc., that they were rigidly bound by for many lifetimes. The chosen family's religious teachings and practices automatically act to reactivate this energy in the person who desires to clear it, and they may live many years committed to and practicing that particular faith. But at some point the teachings begin to feel false and out of alignment, and the clearing process begins. Religion and religious practices are stages on everyone's evolutionary path, but are not meant to be permanent. Almost everyone has lived more than one lifetime in a convent, monastery, ashram, or temple, etc., and made vows and promises that may still be influencing their lives. A heartfelt vow of poverty made long ago can unknowingly hold a person captive in lack. A sincerely spoken vow of chastity can affect relationships in every life after that. Even a sincere promise made to someone in a previous life can manifest in some way in one or more subsequent lives. Take time to consciously state your intention to clear all remaining vows, promises, oaths, etc. It can be very difficult, especially in the beginning, to accept that appearances that seem so real are actually illusory concepts. We are not saying that to live the mystical life you must ignore the day-to-day problems that many of you are experiencing. But what we are saying is that your job as lightworkers is to impersonalize appearances. The only real and permanent qualities you or anyone else can ever have are divine qualities, simply because God is all there is, and is therefore who you are. Period. Never claim expressions of duality, separation, and multiple powers, guilt, fear, anger, sickness, lack, depression, etc., as being personally yours, for as creators this will automatically make them yours. Every billboard declaring war on something actually increases it in the world. As you observe the violence, stupidity, cruelty, war, selfishness, power-seeking, greed, lust, and animosity, know that you are witnessing the manifestations of an impersonal collective belief in separation and multiple powers. Those who allow these things to express through them do not know who they truly are and believe the illusions of separation to be reality. In order to stop giving power to appearances, no matter how horrible they may be, you as a spiritually evolved individual must accept that if God is all there is, nothing else exists, and therefore any contrary appearance can only be a facet of third-dimensional illusion that the earth is now moving beyond. This does not mean you are blind to the actions of others or allowing them to do whatever they want, and you will certainly not be voting for them. Let your conscious awareness of their true identity be your spiritual shield and sword, which may even assist them in moving out of their own illusions. Many think that change means a return to normal. Know this, things will never return to normal, because for the most part, normal equals the past, outgrown manifestations of an era primarily based in concepts of duality, separation, and power. An enlightened collective consciousness will automatically manifest enlightened creations. Education, healthcare, government, etc., will not disappear, but rather manifest in new, better, and higher forms. Do not get lost in appearances, dear ones. Limit the degree of your searching and involvement in the outer third-dimensional scene, for it is very easy to get caught up in what you are seeking to move beyond. Hold fast to the reality of one omnipresent, omnipotent, and omniscient power expressing as, "This is all there is to mysticism." We are the Arcturian group.